Hey guys, it's Sky Godwin here with BDX Labs, and sorry I haven't posted any videos in a while. I apologize to my 300 subscribers. I appreciate you guys, and I promise I am going to try to bring you more interesting content about different cannabinoids and different processes involved in the cannabinoid industry. So today I am going to be making a video about making Delta 9 THC, everybody's favorite. I know everybody loves Delta 9. To me, it's just, you know, another thing I'm making. Not particularly my favorite, but anyway, today we are going to be turning some basically CBD isolate, and I have some crystallized isolate as well, which I went through the painstaking process of purifying from a more nasty form that was all polluted and nasty. So I love the crystals. I think they are so cool. I love CBD crystals. I could play with them, look at them, and grow them all day because I think they are awesome and they're pretty. They even sound cool when they fall. Yeah, just plain old CBD. But anyway, today I'm gonna turn this into Delta 9 THC for wholesale to other industries. People buy it for vape carts and gummies. They typically formulate products with it, so they are taking our Delta 9 and diluting it down below 0.3% or less so that it is compliant and legal by the 2018 Hemp Farm Bill Act. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So at the end of the process, it is going to essentially look like this. This is almost 90% Delta 9, has about 6% Delta 8 THC in it. Yeah, that's it. Let's get started. I have to go put some PPE on, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I know so far BDX Labs is relatively a small YouTube channel with only about 300 subscribers. Our company's actually a pretty big company. We've got a $34 million laboratory that we work out of. So the formula I'm using today is a proprietary formula for our lower grade Delta 9. Our lower grade Delta 9 is approximately 80 to 88% Delta 9. Then we have a higher grade Delta 9, which is 90 to 98% Delta 9. And I think that if I can hit 1,000 subscribers, I will reveal both of the formulas to my YouTube channel. So I figure maybe that's some incentive to get people to subscribe. 1,000 subscribers, and I will give away both of my proprietary formulas for making Delta 9. Cool? So the first thing I've got to do is I have to load my CBD isolate into my reactor. So first I am going to load some of this nasty recovered CBD. It's just hasn't been purified super well, so it's kind of yellow and pink and white. And then I'm going to load this up, then the next, and then we'll get started. Time consuming, so bear with me. to be using for the Delta 9 reaction is going to be DCM. It's dichloromethane, sometimes called methylene chloride. The stuff is super nasty, super volatile, it stinks real bad, nasty toxic, so I'm going to be putting on a full face respirator while I'm working with it. Go ahead and show them this over here. Toxic, yeah. This is dichloromethane. This stuff is not for beginners or amateur chemists or home chemists or kitchen chemistry. It's genuinely toxic, nasty stuff. Okay, so now I need to add some of my catalyst for this reaction. This is my secret ingredient right here. So if any of you guys are able to tell what it is, tell people, don't tell people, it's up to you. Who knows? There's lots of stuff that looks like this, but ooh. That's why I have it sealed up, see? See it gassing? Mm-hmm. Okay, now that I found my little spatula scoop and I'm cleaning it off, now maybe I can add my material. Sometimes these things get sticky.
So, here is my addition funnel. Alright, next so it's fully dissolved. Fully dissolved, so we're going to start chilling it good.
So, two very important things about this reaction. It has to be completely anhydrous and dry. Solvent has to be dry. Your CBD has to be dry, meaning no water. Your reagent has to be dry. The reactor needs to be heated and dried beforehand. Everything needs to be dry or you will get a very poor yield. You'll get a low percentage of Delta 9. The other important thing about this reaction is it has to take place very cold. -10 to -20 degrees Celsius is the recommended temperature. So we're going to let that chill until it's completely frozen and we will start adding our reagent. Okay, so before we start the reaction, we need to make sure we have an inner atmosphere. So I have hooked up a tank of argon and I am pushing argon into my reactor in order to have an inner atmosphere. So this is just my little method of being able to see in here. Sometimes it works to use acetone to spray on here, but it usually just refreezes, so this is typically what I do with a little razor blade. can see inside. So all of our CBD is dissolved. It looks like none of it has crystallized due to the temperature at -10 degrees Celsius. In some solvents, your CBD will absolutely start to recrystallize. That's another reason why DCM is preferable. So at this point, we will start adding the reagent. Okay guys, so now we have added our reagent, and we are at -10 degrees and holding well, and you can see that a definite reaction has taken place because of the deep magenta reddish color and the yellow color. It's gone a lot darker from the dark amber, solution it was earlier. So our reaction has definitely started to take place. This reaction is going to need to run like this for 48 to 72 hours. So for the next 2 to 3 days, this guy is just going to chill just like this. Constant rotation, constant chilling, and every once in a while I'll come in and burst a little argon in there to make sure that it has a nice good argon blanket on top of the liquid surface. So around the 48-hour mark, I will start testing the material. I'll dip in and take a sample, and I will do analytics on my chromatography machine to see where my levels are sitting. And essentially, once I determine that there is no more CBD in my solution, it will be finished. So usually we prefer the lowest level of delta 8 possible and the highest level of delta 9 possible, so long as there is 0% CBD remaining. So let's give it a few hours and come back to it. So to dry this solution, I'm going to do pretty standard chemistry drying technique for solvents. First, I'm going to pass it through a chromatography column that has about a pound or so of sodium sulfate with a touch of magnesium sulfate as well. Sodium sulfate is appreciated because when it absorbs the water, it doesn't form a hard clump and continues to allow fluid to pass through it. I don't feel like it absorbs water as well as magnesium sulfate. However, when the magnesium sulfate picks up water, it tends to form a hard brick. And if it picks up too much, it'll form this brick in there and more fluid won't pass through it. So that's why I use a mixture of the two for their varying effects. Yeah, look at this. This was shipped to me from a chemical supply company, magnesium sulfate anhydrous, in this container inside a Glad ForceFlex trash bag. So, I don't know, some companies use Glad trash bags for their chemical supply. Okay, so our Delta 9 has finished rotovapping, and as you can see our vacuum is pretty low and we're not getting any more bubbles. So at this point, this Delta 9 is ready to be taken into the short path or wiped film evaporator and distilled into a final product. As you can see, it's got a pretty nice golden color there. Yeah, it's going to be some nice stuff.